Hello everybody and welcome back. This is Vee here and Tam's here behind me. We are starting something new here. We are gonna give you a little glimpse into the country life. We were just hit by Hurricane Helene and we're out here. What you don't know is that Pam has 11 acres worth of property and we were hit by Hurricane Helene, and I'll show you around. And we are cleaning up. We're cleaning up around. See, there were some trees over here that fell, and this is all around the property. So we're out here doing some cleaning. So you'll get to see everything, and we'll see you later. Just check it out.
Hello folks, Pam here. You know, I know Vee told you that my husband and I, we own almost 11 acres here in North Carolina in a rural county, and we absolutely love it here. Right now we are kind of cleaning up from Hurricane Helene that passed through, and we didn't take the brunt of the hurricane by any means. Up in the mountains, they were hit so much worse. My son is a lineman up there, and he's in Asheville, so he's working 16-hour days, 7 days a week right now, trying to restore power to Asheville and the surrounding area, all up and down the western part of North Carolina. These small communities were the hardest hit, you know, communities where there's only one road in, and when you lose the power, you lose your connection to everything. We were without power for a few days, and we were fortunate. We have about 5 or 6 trees down around the property. One fell on the garage but did no damage. The rest fell away from the house, so we were fortunate. But now we're left to do some cleanup. So before we start with our fall garden, we are cleaning up the property to get everything back in order and ready. You can see here, wow, I can't believe that I am out there in my leggings and my oversized t-shirt recording this for everybody, but you know, that's life. So this is how I go out and do work around the yard. We're hauling wood, which we will take up to the barn and split it and store it for winter. We heat with wood during the winter. We use down trees and standing dead trees around the property for heat for the winter. You can also see in the front there, we've got some leaves piled up from the hurricane and leaves from fall, because it is autumn now, so leaves are falling, and we will have a lot more, and they are food for the garden. So we will take them up. Right now in our garden, we have, we have kale and garlic. So this will go around the garlic, and Vee and I have some spinach we want to plant and some more kale, and we have some other vegetables. We'll show you that when we get ready to plant, which we're hoping to do this week sometime. It's not supposed to rain just yet, so the garden has been tilled and it's ready for us. We just need to get up there and get into it. So I hope you really enjoy getting a look into our life on the everyday, and we're going to take you on this journey through the garden, and you can enjoy laughing at us right now as we clean up around the property and just enjoy the sunshine. All right.
And there is the garden, and we have a bunch of grapes up there that we need to harvest. Here, you can get a good look at it right here. A bunch of grapes that we will be harvesting. And there's our garden. We are going to be planting more vegetables for the winter up there, and we're going to take you along with us, so stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to take all this wood that's in there, show you the barn. You can see the barn back there. Let me see if I can zoom you guys in a little bit. Right here, right there, that's the barn. And we will be unloading all this wood in there. So we'll take you along to the barn. Take off your glove, maybe.
So I can't get it apart. Yeah, I can. Here it is, coming apart. You got it? Here, bring that one here. This is what it is. Yep. And let me see. Yeah, this one's coming apart a little bit, but it's not ready quite yet. Oh, maybe it's a hickory nut, maybe, or something. I don't know.
Are they safe to eat?
I wouldn't eat them unless you know what it is. That's for sure. Since I don't know what it is, see, this is it right here. So it's not a black walnut.
I think it came from that tree.
But
I think it came from that tree.
no, it comes from one of these trees right here. Because we
So,
had them before.
You
we had
guys
that.
know. Comment down below.
Yeah, it's that right there. All right, you can see that nut there. I think it's a hickory nut. I remember looking it up years and years ago. So I'm not positive. The tree has been on the property before we ever bought the property. So I'm not sure how old the tree is. It is one huge tree, but that's what I think it is. If anybody can verify that, I would really appreciate it. But I think it's a hickory nut. And if I remember right, doing my research, the hickory nut, it's really hard to get the meat out of the shell itself. So I'm thinking that's what I remember. You can see over my shoulder there, that's the barn. That's where we're taking the wood and we will split it and then we will stack it up in the barn. This used to be a horse pasture from the previous owners. There's only been one other owner on this property, and they built that barn for their horses, for their boys. And so it's still standing. We've done a lot of work on the barn to renovate it, to paint it so that it will continue to be used for years to come. But that is the barn. That's probably maybe about half the property from the house, from the road all the way up to the barn. We own way back behind my shoulders. You can see there's trees in the center there. We own way beyond that to a creek that runs down that side of the property, and then on the side that is perpendicular to the road, there's another creek that runs and feeds the waterfall that's across the street. So we're very blessed with where we live. There's a park across the street with a waterfall, McGalliard Falls. There's lots of hiking and trails back in through there. We're very, very fortunate where we live. So that's what we're doing. We're chopping wood, we're cutting wood, we're stacking wood, we're getting ready for winter. We're going to be getting ready in the garden. And you know, if you live in the mountains or if you live here in the Piedmont, that even though we live in these rural communities, this is where my heart is. I was born and raised in a rural county in Maine, and I live in a rural county here, and I absolutely love it. I love the community and the spirit that comes with it. I love the farms. I love the county seat, Morganton, and the small restaurants, mom and pop stores that we have there. I really enjoy this area of the state. I have traveled to all 100 counties, and there's just some beautiful area in North Carolina. So if you're ever thinking about moving, you know, check out North Carolina. The climate is perfect. The people are wonderful. The setting is beautiful. If you love the outdoors, you know, this is the place to be because you're never far from the outdoors and hiking and being out in nature. I really feel like that's where the heart is. So I hope you continue to enjoy this and get a good kick out of watching us truck this wood up.
Alright, so as you can see, this tree right here, when the hurricane hit, this is a tree that fell. Luckily, it didn't fall on the house. It fell away from the house. So we've been clearing this part out, and it was a rotten tree, so Sam was always scared that it was gonna fall onto the house.
Yeah, you can see the stump there. Half of it's rotten.
But luckily it didn't fall on the house. We were lucky and fortunate enough.
So you can see everything that we're cleaning up here. This is the front yard of my house. The wooden fence is for the dogs so that the dogs can run and play fetch in the front yard. Although if you see my dogs now, you would laugh at that statement. But, so we're cleaning up what remains of the 2 trees that were down in the front yard. And actually now it looks really good now that it's all cleared out. You know, I was listening to, I think it was a podcast yesterday, or maybe it was a book. I can't remember. I'm not 100% sure. But one of the questions was, when were you last at peace, like completely at peace? And don't get me wrong, I love my life now, but it's more hectic now. You know, I've started a business. Vee and I have started a business, and I'm running for Congress. And so there is just a lot of running around and good stress in my life right now. And there's tense moments as well. But I think the last time I was just completely at peace was when my kids were little and I was home, and I would go out in my garden every day and weed and hoe and water my garden. I would bring my boys outside. We would plant. We would go hiking just about every weekend somewhere here in the mountains. There is no better feeling, I think, on earth than being up at the top of a mountain and looking out over the valley below. And there's no cell signal, there's no connection except for you, the people you bring with you, and Mother Nature around you. Nothing feels better than that, or more peaceful. I remember the first time I ran for Congress. That's where I made my decision. I just went up to the mountain and sat there in silence for a while, just thinking about, you know, why I was running, and my family and my kids, and wanting a better life for them. That's why I'm running. And so I remember going up to the mountain and just sitting there and having my lunch and thinking about it and pondering the decisions. There's just, you feel so connected. And I think whenever I feel stressed, if I can get out and get my feet in the garden, you feel so connected to the earth. You feel grounded. You're not on your phone. You're not listening to anything. I like the silence, and so I just go up to my garden and feel so connected to everything around me. Well, now you can see Vee and I just trying to stack up the brush on the trailer. It's not always easy, especially with the bigger branches. But Jackson, that's my husband there in the background, he's here helping us so that we can get this all cleared up. I think they had 2 days off for the hurricane. He had Friday, which was the day of the disaster, and then they had Monday off because they did not have power. And, you know, the hospital, his office is next to the hospital. They were one of the first areas here to get power back. And that still took them a few days to get power back out there. And I know parts of Burke County still don't have power. And there were areas that were without water for a while. I know, talking to my son on the phone, they started out without power. Then they got their power back and lost water, so they didn't have water for a while. Makes things a little bit more challenging when you don't have water. But they are safe. He's hard at work. And I'm hoping you're enjoying this new venture that we're taking. If you'd like to give us a comment down below and let us know what you think. Do you have a garden? What is some advice you have for us people down here in North Carolina trying to garden in the autumn? You know, winters here have not been very cold. It does get below freezing or at freezing for a while, but last year we did not have any snow that I remember. Vee, do you remember any snow? So it is, you know, with climate change, we are experiencing warmer temperatures here in the winter. And I also think that we're getting our garden ready for the spring, you know, covering it with leaves and getting that all mulched in so that it can decompose, nourish the soil. We do not use fertilizers here, so trying to find pest control solutions that are organic in nature So if you have any suggestions, that would be wonderful. Do you can? Do you can your vegetables? Is that a thing anymore? I mean, I have probably 100 to 150 jars down in my storage room waiting to be canned up, but I don't know, do many people can anymore? I enjoy it, the whole process, and seeing it all laid out there. But we got one load of brush all completed now, and Jackson has brought the trailer back. I think we have a load of wood now, wood for winter, that we're going to load up and get headed out to the barn so that we can get it chopped and stacked and get it drying. And after we finish this, that will be pretty much the end of the front yard. I know it looks like I'm throwing wood at Vee, but really I'm not throwing wood at her. I'm throwing wood a little bit further down towards her. After this, my husband, the root, I think we mentioned that tree trunk and the root is pretty rotten, and so I think he's going to try to burn that and get rid of that root. The other tree was a dogwood tree, the one that's partially sticking up there, and that he's going to finish sawing that down, and then we'll probably have somebody come in and grind the stump down. You know, overhead we've heard lots of helicopters all day long as, you know, the military, the National Guard, carries supplies out to western North Carolina. We see a lot of trucks on the road carrying poles out to North Carolina, telephone poles. We see a lot of trucks with supplies headed to western North Carolina. So I know that western North Carolina is in pretty good hands right now. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while for them to dig out, or for us, you know, to dig out. It's going to take time. So I hope you enjoy the video, enjoy the progress. Make sure you follow us, like, share, subscribe. And this is one of our longer videos, but I hope you enjoyed watching it, seeing a little bit of the property, because we are going to be updating you with our garden. And anybody that wants to come along with us, we welcome you on this journey. And I hope you all have just a wonderful day. All right, bye for now.